pieces of TPIR gear a contestant is wearing. A contestant, audience member, sorry, an audience member. I know, I'm sorry, remember. Is wearing.
This is fine.
Okay?
Oh.
Alright. You will record this information for every fifth audience member in line. Okay. By the end of your study, you will have 800 audience members. Okay, 800 audience members. Yeah. One,
Oh, this is the scenario.
describe the population used in this scenario. Oh, the population and sample, sorry. And sample
And
used in this scenario. 2, which data collection method did you apply? Three, which sampling design did you use? In this scenario. And then finally, 4, what is the level of measurement for the variable you recorded? Yeah, you recorded. Okay. Now, there's a little caveat to this right here. In the test line, you plan to record the number of pieces of TPR gear an audience member is wearing. This is how you're gonna record it, okay? A 0 means that they're wearing no gear. 1 means that they're wearing one piece of, let's say, one piece of gear. Gear means either article of clothing or it could be an accessory. Is everybody with me? 2 pieces of gear. So I'm using the word gear again for clothing or accessory items. 3 means 3 pieces. And then 4 represents 4 or more. So I'm gonna say 4 plus pieces. So it's 4 or more. That's the first 4 questions. Thank you for your patience, I'm sorry about that. So let's talk about that. What's the sample? Describe the sample. Let's go backwards. What's the sample?
Number of pieces of gear.
Hmm?
Number of pieces of gear.
Someone said number of pieces of gear. Someone said audience.
The 800 audience members?
Thank you. That is correct. You will get 5 points for that if you wrote that. If you would have written what you wrote, you would not get the full 5 points. Okay? You probably get 3, she will get 0. Yeah. Yeah, the correct answer is the 800 audience members. So what should you write as the population?
All of them.
All audience members. That's all I will be looking for, all audience members. You must use the word all, okay? So population, so you're right. Population will be all Price is Right audience members. And then the sample will be what?
The 800
Right.
audience members.
800 TPIR, Price is Right audience members.
But if you put every audience member,
No, you wouldn't get credit for that. Alright. Which data collection method did you apply?
Survey?
Say it again?
Survey?
I need to hear, I don't understand baby talk. I need you to say it out loud. I'm not writing, I'm not saying someone's correct, so someone has not given me the full 5 point answer. Say it again. Say your answer again. Observational study is the correct answer. That's the 5 point response. Observational, not observation, not observational. Observational study. That is correct. Observational study. But what were the 4 that we covered? Public source, survey, observational study, and what's the last one? Computer simulation. That's right.
Computers.
This one is observational study. Does everybody understand why this is an observational study?
Yes.
Okay. Because you're collecting the data from just observing. You don't have to give the audience members any type of treatment or anything to collect the data that you need. You're observing them in their natural setting. Observational study is correct. Which sampling design did you use? I'm sorry? Okay. I'm just listening. I'm just listening to the answers. So, but you said integral, interval, interval. Which sampling design did you use? So if you told me that, you would not get any points.
Systematic.
Systematic is the correct answer. Systematic sampling. That's right. Why is it systematic?
Because you're picking one for every fifth.
Right. It's systematic random sampling. Because you're picking every kth observation. That's right. So we clearly know that the variable is the number of pieces of TPR IR gear, but look how it's coded. That's how you're gonna code it, okay? What's the level of measurement for that variable? Not the type of variable. So I would have given you 0 for that if you'd have told me category. Listen, it's okay if you make a mistake. That's what we're learning. Didn't I tell you all this? Math. Listen, Mistakes allow thinking to happen. So it's okay to make mistakes. So if I say, well, you would have gotten 0, that's not to humiliate you. That's to get you to think. Because now, this final, you have to think now. Okay? All right? So if you'd have told me categorically, you would not get any credit. What were the 4 types of levels of measurement?
Nominal.
Nominal,
Ordinal.
ordinal,
Interval.
interval, ratio. So the answer is one of those 4. Which one?
Ordinal?
If you would have said interval, you would have gotten 0. If you would have said ratio, you would have gotten 0. If you would have said nominal, you would have gotten 0. The answer is ordinal. The answer is ordinal. Answer is ordinal. Okay. Because now you have made this. If I didn't put this, you would assume it's a quantitative variable, and of course it would have been ratio. Okay. But because you recode it like this, it is now ordinal. It's a qualitative variable, and it is ordinal. Is everybody with me somewhere? And there's order. So as the values increase, so does the interpretation of the number of pieces of gear that the audience member is wearing. Is everybody with me? The answer to this question is ordinal. So here's the next scenario is working off this scenario, okay? So the next scenario, that was used to answer questions 1 through 4, right? So this is the scenario for 5 through 8, which is gonna work off this. So scenario, okay? So referring to the previous example, you recorded the number of pieces of gear and created the following figure. And I made the numbers nice and smooth. And remember now, I swear to God, this is not the scenario on your exam, but this is very damn close, okay? Okay?
Okay.
Oh, but I'll put it like this, 0 pieces, 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3, 4 plus pieces, okay? By the way, what is this? Yeah, that's a bar graph. Just want to make sure. 5. your data, okay, which is this data. I could have said your, your audience members. Your data spans over 2 seasons, 2 full seasons. Each season oh, sorry, not 2 seasons. That's why I messed up. I was like, what's going on? Over 2. Oh, excuse me. I used the wrong number too. Oh, over 20 episodes in the same season. In the same season. Each episode uses 350 audience members. What was your sampling rate? Oh, sampling rate for this study. What percent of audience members wore at least one piece of TPIR gear? 7, if a frequency table was to be made with this data, how many classes, would appear in it? 8. If a pie chart were to be made, of course, of this data, what would be the amount of the angle used to make the 3 pieces slice? What is that? This? So loud. How do we solve 5? how would you approach solving number 5? Let's talk that out. It's not as hard as you think it is.
250 divided by 20.
Say it again?
350 divided by 20.
No.
Divided by 5.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What does sampling rate represent? What does sampling rate represent?
Is that like the every fifth, the rate, what that is? Who you sample?
So if I said, let's say I have a few in the room, 2, 5, 7, 10, 14, 18, 21, 25. There are 25 of you in this room. And let's say I randomly selected 10 of you, 3, 5, 8, 10. I randomly selected these 10, okay? So they were randomly selected out of the 25 in the room. What does the sampling rate represent? Because that's what I'm asking for here. So if I told you I randomly selected these 10 out of the 25, what would the sampling rate represent? Or what do you believe the sampling rate represents? Right, what percent of the sample did I, what percent of observations from the population did I sample, right? So it'd be 10 out of 25 converted to a percent, right? Let's see, 10 out of 25, that's 2/5, so that's 40%. So the sampling rate would be 40%. Sampling rate is just what percent of the population did you sample? That's it. So it'd be 10 out of 25 converted to a percent. So you gotta do a little bit of extra work for this one. You have to do a little bit of extra work. How many, okay. How many audience members did we sample? 800, okay. And how do we get 800?
From every fifth audience.
It was given, well, was it given back over there? Yeah, 800, right? But even if I didn't give you that, first, yeah, even if I didn't give you that, how else could you have gotten 800? Correct, it's right here. You add up the frequencies. Is everybody with me? So you can add these up, and I think this at 50, 200, so that's 250 plus 150, 400 plus 300 is 700 plus 100 is 800. So you get it from here, from the bar graph. Is everybody with me? Okay. So 800. So we know how many people we sampled. So the sampling rate is how many people did you sample over what is the population size? Is everybody with me so far? So we know this answer. We know this is, let me, hold on. I'll move up here. Is what, 800? But what was the population size?
20 times 350.
Say it again.
20 times 350.
That is correct. 20 times 350. It spanned over 20 episodes. Each episode had 350 people. So 350 times 20 tells you the total population size. That's how many people, audience members we started with. Of those, so what is that? 350 times 20, 7,000. So there were 7,000 audience members to sample from. Is everybody with me so far? We sampled 800 of them. So it's 800 divided by what? 7,000. So it's 800 divided by 7,000, which is boom, 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 boom. 8 over 70. Is everybody with me so far? So what is 8 over 70?
11.43%.
11.43.
Yeah.
So that will be 11.43%. There's your sampling rate. What percent of audience members wore at least one piece of TPIR gear? How would you calculate this?
200 divided by 800.
You said what?
200 divided by 800.
So if you would have told me 200 divided by 800, you wouldn't get credit.
Would be 750 divided by 800.
Correct. At least.
One.
At least means that or more. So at least one piece. So that's one or more. Is everybody with me? So it will be, you have to add up the frequencies of these four. Is everybody with me? So 200, 150, that's 350 plus 300, 650 plus 100, 750. So the answer will be 750 divided by what? 800, which is, what is that, 75 over 80, that's 75 over 80. 15 over 16? 5. 15 over 16? Right? 15 over 16?
Which is
Which is what, 0.8, no, 0.9133?
No.
0.9275, 0.9675, 9875, 9375?
Yeah.
Okay, I knew that, 9375. That's what I get for trying to use my mental math. I knew it was something 75, I just couldn't put my, yeah, 0.9375. If a frequency table was to be made with this data, how many classes would appear in it?
4.
Okay, someone said 4,
8.
someone said 5, someone said 8. I will tell you this, one of you is right, and the other two are wrong. The answer is 5.
because of how many
And they're right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a number of bars. Yeah. The answer is 5. 5. These are your classes. These are your classes. And it's over here too. Look. These are your classes. Okay. Alright. Okay. Bro, you paying attention, bro? Okay. Alright. Okay. If a pie chart were to be made, what would be the amount of the angle used to make the 3 pieces slice? Well,
135.
what do we have to do for that?
You take the 300 divided by
What is
8
300? It's the
frequency.
frequency. You
Divided
take the 300 divided by,
your sample size.
I'm sorry,
Your sample size?
which is
800.
800. Your sample size, which is 800. So you would take 300 divided by 800. And then that'll be what? 3 over 8? 3/8? Don't tell me. 3/8, which is, you better not tell me. 3750? 0.375? So that's the proportion, or the relative frequency, sorry. Proportion, relative frequency, same. Then what do you have to do with this value though?
Times 360.
Times 3.
Times 360, that's right, because a circle has what? 360 degrees, right? So the angle would then be equal to this relative frequency, which will be 0.375 times what? 360. 360 degrees. Can't just say 360, we have to say 360 degrees. If we don't say degrees, then 360 will be measured in what?
Percentage.
No.
Oh.
Trig. Who had trig?
I did.
If you don't write that degree sign, 360 is the number of radians. So we have to now take 360 times 0.375. What is that?
135.
135. So that slice would have an angle of 135 degrees. 135 degrees, is that acute or obtuse? Obtuse. Past 90 degrees, it's obtuse. Be less than 90 degrees, it's acute. Yeah. So the answer is 135.
Oh, I thought it was 35.
No, 135. 135. Yeah, 135. Can you move over one seat? Unless y'all want me to erase, unless you want me to just stay up there and erase that. Huh? Who still needs that up? Who still needs me to keep that up? Okay, then you good, you go back, you go back, sorry, you go back. I'm gonna erase this, last call. So, hold on, you didn't get it, you have to do it over, you messed up.
Okay.
You messed up.
Got it.
You stay like
Yeah.
that. Hold on, hold on. Alright. Okay, it's going, going. Alright, y'all ready? Go, go, alright. I love kitchens.
Oh, no, it's too hot.
Alright. Okay.